Hello and welcome to another spiritual learning video. Today we're going to go over how you can connect and communicate with spirits. One of the hardest aspects of coming out of the broom closet for me was to begin publicly acknowledging that I'm a medium of sorts. You never know how someone will react when you tell them you talk to dead people, not to mention nature spirits, elementals, and other entities. At a certain point, it became harder to keep this aspect of my life and spirituality shoved in the background. So I decided not only to own it, but improve on it, and to keep learning, and to seek out people with alike thoughts and ideas, and to start sharing. Now it's just part of everyday life. I've had a number of people tell me how fearful they become when they sense the presence of a spirit about, and they ask, how can they become more comfortable, or how can they keep them away? I believe that everyone has the ability to engage with the spirit world. When we sense something otherworldly and shut it down out of fear, we may be slamming the door on our ancestors who are trying to protect us, spirits that need help, or our guardians. Also, just because you get good at ignoring something, it doesn't mean that it isn't there anymore. A spirit that really wants your attention will increase their efforts to catch your eye, I promise. So if you're one of those people who would like to embrace the spirit world and start opening up communication with spirits, where can you start with that? Decide who you want to talk to. Some mediums will tell you not to choose, but trust me when I say that you can land yourself in some deep doo-doo if you just open yourself wide up to the spirit world. Just like there are bad people in the world who will take advantage of your vulnerability, there are bad spirits that will feed on you and can truly mess up your life. Start with someone who feels safe, a relative or a friend, or even a friend of a friend who has moved on, or an ancestor that you have researched are some good starting points. Choose someone that you have a picture of or even something that they owned in life. Set your space, tidy up a bit, and wipe down the surface you'll be using. I know a lot of people like to use salt for cleansing, but it drives spirits away. Don't use it here. To cleanse your space a little, you can use a lit sage stick. Just make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. Have a candle, a glass of water, and a small offering of food. Many spirits like coffee and or alcohol. Just a little will do, along with the picture and or personal item or items you have. Spirits like the same things they enjoyed in life, and it's polite to offer someone a drink or a snack when they come to your home, right? The water acts as both a conduit and a refreshment, and the candle helps light their way. Have a pad of paper and something to write with nearby, and if you practice any kind of divination like tarot cards, pendulums, spirit rods, or runes, have those tools handy as well. Take note of yourself. Be aware, check the mood that you're in and the thoughts, noting and observing the air quality around you, the light. Being aware of how you feel and your surroundings will allow you better to disconcern when the spirit comes through. Call upon the spirit and then pay attention. I wish I could say that I had some fancy incantation for you, but I don't. I usually just focus on the picture or the personal items. You can say the full name, if you know it, if you know the birthday of the spirit, and just that you wish to speak with them. Ask them to come closer to you and enjoy the refreshments you have offered them. You may have to ask a couple of times. Be patient and listen. Observe the subtle differences. Does the air or light in your space feel different? Does your head, mind, or body feel different? When a spirit comes through, I often get like a third eye, maybe headache, or there's a swirling in your head. Your stomach might get that moving elevator feeling. I almost always get tingling in my ears. You will notice when a spirit comes in, but it won't likely be that Hollywood-worthy experience. You will most likely feel and see the person in your mind's eye, not with your actual eyes. The more you work with spirits, the more unquestionably they will demonstrate their presence, the more you work with them and believe in them. Test them. I always recommend that you test a spirit that you come in contact with who claims to be familiar to you. The simplest way is to ask them what your name is. You'll be surprised how easily you could trip up a faker. You can also ask them about memories you shared or quiz them a bit on family history. There's no need to turn it into an interrogation. You'll know after a question or two. If you are someone who has a particularly clear mind's eye, you can walk around the spirit to see if they are authentic or are wearing the mask of the one you called in. If you get any indication at all that the spirit in your presence isn't the one you invited, tell them that they must leave and that you claim the space as your own. Keep repeating that until you feel them leave. Then cleanse yourself using the sage stick, or you can have protection crystals, black salt, holy water. You can also prepare a salt scrub and use it in the shower or take a cleansing bath with the salt and herbs. If the spirit is the one that you called in, enjoy the conversation. Talk to them and take time to listen. This isn't fancy, but conversating with someone who doesn't have a body does take a little practice. Take notes on what you experience. If you are struggling to get a clear message and you have a divination tool handy, ask the spirit to speak to you through your cards or whatever tools you have. For example, you can ask them questions on a pendulum. The first question you should ask is, please show me what your no is, and then show me what your yes is, so you understand what their answers will be. Something to remember also is spirits don't always talk with words. You may only get images in your mind's eye. You may get smells, flashes of emotions that don't feel like your own. Go with it, but if you get overwhelmed, tell the spirit to pull back a bit. Find the balance that works for you. When you feel done talking or the spirit seems tired or like they're pulling back from you, end the conversation, thank them for their visit, and tell them they can return where they came from. Wait until you feel that they have left, then snuff out the candle and place the offerings that you had either outside or in the garbage. This part's important. Make sure, after thanking them, that you tell them this session of communication is closed. Then cleanse your space, even if the person came through who you were looking to speak with, and it was a positive interaction. You still should cleanse your space after. Practice is the key. Building relationships with spirits can enrich your life immensely. It takes patience, mutual respect, and a willingness to keep learning. Enjoy the journey. Thank you for joining us for another spiritual learning video. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. And if you like this content, please check out our spiritual learning playlist for more. And we'll see you next week.